Well, welcome back, everyone. Should have some fun today with this review. This is a very good cigar. Um, this is the Arturo Fuente 858 Rosado. It is designated by the red band around the foot of the 858. We will remove the band, and there we have the cigar. Very nice, medium brown, actually, I would call it. Of course, this is a Dominican cigar. It uses an Ecuadorian Rosado wrapper, and the binder is Dominican. The filler is a little unknown. Fuente does not really release a lot of information about some of their ingredients, but from what I understand, all 858s use the same filler, but the wrappers are different. So this uses the Ecuadorian Rosado wrapper, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's get right to it. Alright, first thing we need to do, and in the previous segment I talked about removing the red band. It was actually, as you notice, cedar sleeve wrapped. Flawless draw. A little evening out to do. There we go. That's the way you even them out. Look at there. Perfect. Right away, there's a nice mix of almond and cinnamon. You can really taste a little richness in that almond already, and I just lit it. On the draw, you taste the almond. After you let it sit and expel the smoke, the cinnamon really comes alive. The pepper is very nice. That's the initial flavors. Almond with some richness to it, cinnamon, and nice pepper. So let's let it sit for just a minute. We'll be back. About a half inch in. Cigars seem to have transitioned somewhat. Gosh, now you've got a different mix of flavors. Believe it or not, the cinnamon now, within a half inch, has pretty much transformed into a rather rich, predominantly orange citrus. Now follow me. It's a rich orange citrus with a sprinkling of cinnamon. And there are now vanilla notes at the tail end. The finish is a very creamy tapioca. Can I say that? It's not really vanilla. Um, I'm sticking with that. I mean, it's a custardy vanilla tapioca, as good as you can describe it. But that's the finish. Now, the pepper is very good on this front end. The back end, it wanes a bit. Not really lingering much at this point, if any. very juicy orange citrus with richness and a cinnamon at the very back end. And some of that juiciness can come about from the vanilla notes. Pepper is starting to linger. This is going to be a good cigar. It's already very flavorful. Gosh, maybe the south end of medium right now. You could say mild to medium, leaning toward medium, but this is not a cigar you smoke for the strength. You smoke it for the flavor. It's very good so far. I'll be back. I failed to mention the size of this cigar. It is 6 by 47. I believe this may be the only size this cigar comes in. If I'm incorrect, I apologize, but I believe that's correct. This cigar is changing. It seems like it's going to be one of those nice complex cigars that changes almost every other draw, which is fine with me. I love those kind. There are small notes of, hold on, let's, so, notes of leather. Blew my mind when I tasted that in this cigar. It's quite nice, sweet. The orange citrus that is so tangy and rich and sweet is it plays back and forth with the cinnamon. Right this second, the cinnamon and the citrus are fairly even. 3 or 4 draws ago, the citrus was in the lead and the cinnamon was down here. I like that. That's nice. So anyway, finish is getting a little creamier and richer. Nice, very light colored ash. There are still some faint almond notes there too. They come and go. Anyway, that's a nice beginning. Only about an inch in, so got a ways to go. Not quite to the midpoint, but I wanted just to come back to say that all the previous described flavors, gosh, they all just appear at the most random points. Since I left you last, I can pick up every flavor at different times. So that's nice, and I think you would like it too if you like that kind of a changing, complex cigar. Just you never know what's coming next. The finish continues to be very good. At times, it has a roasted almond flavor, and other times the creamy vanilla, almost that tapioca that I described before. If that could be a flavor. In the cigar world, there's all sorts of flavors. I guess I'm responsible for some of those weird ones, and that would be one of them. The initial draw flavors are just amazing. Really nice. Just wanted to come back and bring you up to date, but I'll be back again shortly. Okay, here at the midpoint, as an example of how it changes, the cinnamon is the lead flavor. The orange citrus is, not even half of what the cinnamon is at this point. The finish is very much a roasted almond. The pepper will just if I failed to mention the pepper, it is very good on both ends right now. Very, very good on the front end, and it is lingering on the finish. So that I don't see that changing. So if I forget to say it, just remember that. Uh, nice mix of vanilla there too. So it looks like well, and there's subtle leather, very subtle, but it's there. I hate to be a broken record, but the flavors are doing the jockeying back and forth. It's just a matter of where you are in this cigar, what you're going to taste. But those flavors are there. Just beyond that midpoint, so a little ways to go yet. We'll be back. Here at the band, which I need to remove right now, the jockeying of flavors continues. Um, oops, actually scorched the band a little bit. The sweet, rich orange citrus and the cinnamon are neck and neck at this point. Um, Another flavor has entered, and it just sort of pops up, and I notice it, but it's not always there. Tea, brewed tea. There are tea notes, and you really sometimes catch them on the tail end of the draw when you're expelling the smoke. They are sometimes noticed on the finish also. Not always there, intermittent, but they're there. I've noticed them. The cigar continues to be very good. I have nothing bad to say about it except that I'm almost finished with it. I will be back here just in a few minutes to wrap it up. Most definitely at the end. So let's wrap it up. All the flavors I've previously described are there. At one point or the other, the cigar is great. There's really only one thing left to do is to rate it. The review has been very long. That's a good indicator of how complex it is, how much it changes. In short, the Arturo Fuente 858 Rosado gets a score of 93. It's a great cigar. I urge you to try it, see what you think for yourself. But for me,